I just watched End of Oak Street, and for some reason, whenever I record a video, I always have to push up my chair arm like this. Anyways, I just watched it, and I think it was good, but the ending was not what I was hoping for. And I think throughout the movie, the tone that I thought that they were setting was good, but it felt like they were too scared to follow all the way through and kind of keep it consistent. So this movie is what people are calling the knockout of Jurassic Park, or at least like it's a dinosaur movie, and people are mad that this is a movie made for children, and a lot of complaints already. I don't know. The movie just came out today. Everyone is already complaining before the movie came out that the husband, Ewan McGregor, here in this film is a wimpy husband, and Anne Hathaway's character is a dominant, strong female character. People are saying, "Oh, we're so tired of it." I just watched the movie. I don't think. So his name is Greg. I don't think Greg was like a wimp at all here in this movie. I think he has made some choices that might seem not like he's not like bold, but in the situation that he was in, it's very rational how he came to certain choices where he was like, "Oh, we have to stay here. It's too dangerous to go out there." Whereas for I forgot her name. I think it was like Diana. Oh, Denise. I was close. It started with a D. Denise, Anne Hathaway's character, the mother of this, she is, trying to go out there to get food and water and shelter. Because in this movie, what happens is a chunk of their city, like a whole freaking neighborhood, got teleported to the past in the prehistoric era where there are dinosaurs, and dinosaurs are just invading that spot. They're just like, "Oh, look, there's humans here, there's meat for all of us." So they go buns and goes crazy, and the family here that we watch, they are trying to figure out how to get out of this place. In the movie here, Greg is so passionate on trying to get out, but also trying to be safe. And for Denise's character, she kind of basically just accepted that the reality she is living in now will be maybe permanent. So she is trying to be more like in survival mode, and like I think both of them are. I think Greg is just being just taking the safer route. So I don't think he's wimpy for that. I don't think in any part of this film he looks like a weak character. He is very passive, and like kind of his like backstory, or not, I don't want to say backstory, kind of like what we're going through when we see his character. He goes through some stuff that is just kind of like, oh, that sucks, but that doesn't make him like a wimp for it. So I think people heard one of the other reviewers, he's very notable for movie reviews. I think when he was talking about the wimpy husband, everyone started larping on that and said, "Oh yeah, this movie's a bust, the husband's a wimp." But if you watch the movie, how he gets to certain places and the choices that he makes doesn't really make him a wimp at all. So I think if you just watch the movie, that's just the thing. I just think people just take someone's word for it immediately and say, "Yep, I've already watched the movie." Yeah, so it's about this wimpy husband and this strong woman, wife, getting their kids out of the dinosaurs. Yeah, that's the movie for you. Like, come on. But I will now get into spoiler alert. So again, I'm now gonna get into spoiler territory, so here's your spoiler warning. So I think throughout the film, they have been very consistent with the suspense tone. So they don't show the dinosaurs immediately when the family gets gets teleported to the dinosaur land. Like, they build that up. Like, they kind of show like hints of it. Like, they show like a tail as it's like going into the bushes or whatnot. There's like some rustling noises, some loud boom, whatever. Like, I think they did really good in building that suspense kinda build up with the dinosaurs. But I think, and this is like a main complaint about this I have for this film, is that I don't think they were really consistent with that tone, because there are a lot of moments here where the family, like when they are going out searching for their kids in broad daylight, they are just going out and just kind of basically walking. Like they're just like even yelling out their names when they know that the dinosaurs can be attracted by noise. Obviously, there are scenes where they have to be quiet, and even when they try to be quiet, dinosaurs still catch up to them. But when they're being loud in certain scenes and it's daytime, the dinosaurs aren't even there. In fact, some of the dinosaurs, they literally walk past and they're like, they happen to be passive dinosaurs. So I guess with that, there is a suspense of disbelief. But for me, I would have loved to see that tone be established throughout the whole film, where they have to be quiet. They cannot take any chances where they can just goof around, because there is there's a scene here, notably, that people are talking about already, where there are two dinosaurs having sex, and Denise is like laughing at it, and she's already in like so much, like she's like already scared for her life, because they are literally, you know, trying to find their children, in which dinosaurs are eating people out in left and right, and she's just like laughing about, you know, these two dinosaurs. And then Greg is just like, yo, we need to find our kids, it is dangerous out here, but she's just like laughing about it, but they're having sex, just look at them. So I think it's just kind of kills the immersion every now and then. And it would have been, I think the movie would have been a lot better if they didn't, like, I'm not saying it has to be full on serious, like sure, there could be some comedic bits here and there, but it seems like they kind of sprinkled that a lot throughout the film. I would have loved it to be more suspense than it just kind of, you know, seesawing between comedy and suspense. But it was still an enjoyable film throughout. And with that, I enjoyed all the way through until the very end. Midway, Greg gets killed by one of the dinosaurs, and it's really intense. It's like a whoa moment. It really sets the tone that no one is safe. But then at the end, they go with a cheap move where, so they all eventually get back home through this like bubble thing that like teleported them in the first place. The family gets through along with this random girl they meet. I think her name was Jeanette, I think. They time travel not to the exact moment where they left. They time travel, I think, 20 minutes before the incident happened. So there are like their variants there. And with that, Denise, she takes advantage of that, and she calls her husband practically from the past to meet up with them, and so that their variant of the past gets teleported without Greg, along with everyone else in the bubble, or like in the neighborhood. They all go to the dinosaur realm, but Greg, who is supposed to be in there, stays with the present family, the one that we've been following throughout the whole film. And it's just so cheap. It would have been more hard-hitting if he stayed dead, but this is a movie for kids. I think they had to kind of go with that ending, but I would have loved to see it, like, I would have loved to see the movie be more bold with the death and the suspense that they have been building in this movie. Like, they did really well, but the consistency was just not there. And for the ending to be a happily ever after form, where, because here's the thing, this is also a plot hole that I've noticed. So when they were when they went to the dinosaur area, there were all these other neighbors that we get to see. They get killed too. But at the end, when they're all like, when that same neighborhood time travels back, somehow the neighbors that died survive because Denise warned them. How would she have warned them if those neighbors who were in that bubble already time traveled? Because they weren't outside the bubble. They were in that, like, that neighborhood, but they somehow survived. So, like, that really confused me there. It was just, that was just another thing that threw me off when the ending was just really trying to be happily ever after. So I was just kind of like, oh, that's kind of underwhelming, because it was enjoyable throughout the whole thing. Like, the suspense there, it's there. Like, the dinosaurs are scary. This isn't some cheap, like, Jurassic Park. Well, I don't want to say cheap. I actually like the Jurassic World movie. It would have been a lot better if it was more like survival state, because this is like a normal average family trying to get out of this dinosaur world, but they all get back safely and alive through this, you know, wibbly wobbly timey-wimey thing that they play with at the end. So it was kind of like, oh, that sucks. But other than that, I think the movie was good throughout. I think the movie is an enjoyable film. I think people should give it a chance. People shouldn't like already start LARPing and say that, oh, it's a bad movie because the woman here is a strong, dominant female character and the husband's a wimp, wussy, weak, yada boo. Because I think Denise here, she's not like girl bossing or anything. She is a average mother who, you know, like her motives on when she's in the dinosaur world trying to be ready for survival and they have to go out eventually to get food and water. I think that's reasonable. That doesn't make her like girl boss and like, you know, unreasonably bold. Like, it makes sense. It's her family. She's looking out for them. But that's all I gotta say for this film. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.